Trawler buyers, you are in the market to purchase your trawler that you've dreamt of and researched and calculated for a long time. And I am the guy who's going to help you buy whatever trawler you're looking at the lowest price possible. Now, we're going to use a case study on Selene 57. It's very, very common in this post-COVID world that trawlers are listed way more than they should actually cost. The market has went up. That's a reality, but there's always something that you need to know when buying any boat. You have to know what the other buyers paid for the boat you're looking at. It's totally common to have a boat listed 30%, 20% over what it sold for 5 years ago. So it's up to you to find the right boat, but at the right price as well. To do this is most simply said, our company Yacht Zero, we have this yacht calculator tool that you can get to by scanning this QR code. What it does is it gives you analytical reports that you could filter through. What that is going to do for you is going to give you essentially specific reports for the boat you're looking at that we have here on this Selene 57. You can hover over to get more information. You could eliminate certain pieces of data. You could find out how long the boats have been for sale, how ones in the past, how much they've sold below their asking price. So it's a lot of great information that sellers and brokers aren't really dying for you to know and to have. But obviously we want you to have in front of you. Now, normally we're going to represent buyers in the purchase of their boats no matter where it is in the world. Me, my team, we make a lot of money. But the thought and philosophy is we're going to give you the captain to train you. We're going to make sure that we work with the surveyors that are more thorough than less. We're going to work with the mechanics and the sales guys who work for the company of that boat that know the common issues and errors so we can put all the cards out on the table ahead of you. Essentially, we have 4 charts that we need to look at, and this is relevant on any trawler, but these are specific for Selene 57s. This shows us how Selene 57s have transacted over time versus how the current asking prices for the Selene 57s look today. Upon initial look, the currently listed 2005, right here, Selene 57, is listed $341,000 over what the last buyer paid for a similar boat back in 2021, or otherwise that's 45.23% premium. So it's really hard to justify that. Now we see this indicator here, the diamond. This is about 1 year newer and the sale is pending. Okay, asking 1.3. This one asking just under 1.1. So again, it's a really, really tough to justify, especially when our hours 4,500 and 2,650. This option looks a heck of a lot better than this one. But if this was down at 800,000, where it probably should be, guess what? It's a whole different transaction, or a whole different deal. Now rolling into our second chart here, this shows us right here, the cross indicates our 2025 Lioness that's for sale versus what they've sold for over time. In a rational chart, this cross is always supposed to be below the circles. Okay, same thing. We see this price for the 2006 Blue Red. That should be south of what Andal sold for. Visualizing this data is something that not only you need to know to make a sound decision, but this is something that's really important to put in front of sellers because oftentimes their broker isn't putting this in front of them. For certain people to get a listing, you kind of tell a seller, oh, your boat's so great, there's a huge opportunity, and then you deal with it later after it's listed. But in theory, you keep your boat listed for 1 year, 2 years, guess what? There's a lot of holding costs involved in that. So the market's tough right now. There's 3 types of sellers. 1, absolutely get rid of my boat. I have no more use for it. 2, well, if I sell this, what else am I really going to get? Which kind of puts people in a little bit of a holding pattern. And the 3rd is I bought it so high during COVID. At this point, I'm going to take my loss. So unless I get my number, I'm not selling it. So you just have to be positioned just to move on very quickly. Now we're on to chart 3. Okay, there's only 2 of these boats on the market, and we know that this one is sale pending. Okay, So when we look at this chart, again, with only 2 data points, it's not the most reliable indicator. But at the same time, if you're looking at a boat where there's more of them on the market, this chart is going to become abundantly clearer to you. Switching to our last chart here. This is how long these boats have been for sale on the market. This is how long it's taken Selene 57s to sell over time, and Selene's as a whole. So looking at these metrics, we know how high these prices are when we look at the table, but guess what? There's probably not a huge urgency for these sellers to sell at this time. So with that said, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to scan this QR code or head over our website at yachtzero.com. Again, we are Yacht Zero Yacht Acquisition Advisors. We try and make sure that we deliver a very high level of service. We say we're small enough to care, big enough to fight with the big dogs. At the end of the day, owning a boat, owning a trawler, it's a full contact sport. Things go wrong all the time. You get disappointed, but when it's good, there's nothing better in the world. So with that said, my name is Chris Mortimer from Yacht Zero. If there's any opportunity to earn your business, me and my team would be happy, especially since it doesn't cost you a thing. With that being said, happy yachting, my friends.